Welcome back to the studio and the second half of Between the Moments journal creation. If you haven't seen the first half, I have linked an iCard in the upper right hand corner, and you can click there and go directly to the first part. As you probably can guess, I am cutting down all my sheets that I created, including this plastic cereal bag that I covered in gesso, and getting them all cut down. I figured I could get 2 inserts out of each. So I'm getting those cut down and folded up. What you can see here is that I have taken all the newsprint backgrounds and adhered them to a blank piece of that newsprint. That way, loosely adhered them. I wasn't real precise about it. I wanted it to be kind of have quirky edges and give the opportunity for that newsprint to kind of slightly tear, bend, but I did that to give them some more stability. Now with these deli prints, they are 12 by 12 in size, and I ended up sewing them together. So I took 2 that were similar, sort of, and sewed them together, and then I went in and cut them down. I wanted them to be off size. I wish I could say that I had this all planned, but this is just coincidental that these sheets fit in to these cereal box covers perfectly. Now here I'm taking a measurement of the spine, which was 2 inches, and then I went about it kind of difficultly here, but I took that 2 inches and divided it by 4 and created where my holes needed to be for the signatures. And then I went through and marked it, and then could decide on the placement for the 3 holes to attach each signature to the cover. Usually with this Liquitex Basics coarse texture, you add your paint to it. But I wanted it to add my paint afterwards and let that color seep into the texture. So I purposely did not mix the two in advance. You can have some problems with this because sometimes, and you'll see as I add the base color, that it's gonna appear white behind it, and that's because it dries translucent and you can see the gesso coming through, and so you do have to get your paint on there fairly thick in order to cover that up. However, I wanted to have fluctuation in the actual color. And also, I had not gessoed the inside of this cover, and I had done that on purpose to be able to get some of that peek through that you'll see here in just a moment. Now here you can see this is my template. That's how I made the holes in the actual signatures. And I created that off of the spine. And once I had decided where those holes were going to be on the spine, then I created the template and then used that to establish the holes in each signature. Now here I am creating a back pocket. So I took some watercolor paper and folded it up, and then I'm cutting it into 3 parts to make, it'll be 3 end back sheets for pockets. And then I'm just gonna sew this together and adhere it to the back cover. I racked my brain on what to use as a closure for this journal, and then it came to me. I have all these rags that I use when I paint, and they are my husband's old undershirts. And one of them I had left the ribbing on the end, and so what I did was I ripped that ribbing off, and I dyed it the same color as the cover. And that became the closure. So I just filled up that back pocket with some of the leftover cut off pieces for whoever purchases this to use in the journal as they continue to create. I also included some of the Tiesto loose leaf tea filters, some vintage ephemera their vintage bus tickets, etc., and a coffee stain filter. But you can see all that if you're interested in purchasing this art journal. It is for sale on my Etsy store, and you can pop over there. There'll be a link down below in the description box.